Before your feet touch the floor, before the sun paints the sky, pause just for a moment, because this moment, right now, is sacred. You're not waking up by accident, you're waking up on purpose. And the God who held you through the night is already ahead of you in the day. Speech, my friend, I don't know what today holds for you. Maybe you're carrying a quiet ache. Maybe it's the weight of uncertainty or fear, simply exhaustion. Or maybe you feel fine, but deep down you wonder if your life is really going anywhere. Let me tell you something with all the love in my heart. God has not forgotten you. He sees you. He's with you. And he's ready to lead you if you'll let him. You don't have to figure it all out today. You don't have to be strong enough for everything. You only need to take the next step with your hand in his. When you let God lead you, you walk with peace that makes no sense, courage that rises from nowhere, and a hope that will not disappoint you. The truth is, this isn't just another morning. It's a divine invitation. An invitation to trade your worry for worship, to lay down your plans and pick up his promise, to stop striving and start trusting. So breathe deep. God is already in your today, and if you'll follow him, even the hard places can become holy. Even the valleys can become victories. Let's start this day not with stress, but with surrender, not with fear, but with faith. Let God lead you, and watch how he turns even your ordinary mornings into miracles. God sees you, knows you, and hasn't forgotten you. That truth alone can change everything about how you walk through your day. In the quiet places of your heart, the parts no one else sees, God is fully aware. He's not distant. He's not distracted. He's not too busy running the universe to notice your tears, your questions, your silent prayers. He's closer than your next breath, and he's deeply involved in the details of your life, even when it doesn't feel like it. Sometimes we live like we're invisible, like we're just moving through life unnoticed, unimportant, overlooked. We give so much of ourselves to others, our families, our jobs, our responsibilities, and we wonder if anyone sees the effort, the tiredness behind the smile, the prayers we whisper in the dark. But God does. He sees every moment, every burden, every act of love, even the ones that go unthanked. He sees what you've lost, and he knows the weight you've carried without complaining. He sees the things you try to hide from the world, the doubts you've wrestled with, the mistakes you regret, the fears that haunt you when the world goes quiet. And even still, he chooses to stay. His love isn't fragile. His presence isn't conditional. God doesn't just love the put-together version of you. He loves the real you, the raw, weary, sometimes confused, sometimes brave you. In Scripture, there's a beautiful moment when Hagar, alone in the wilderness and feeling abandoned, encounters God. She calls him El Roi, the God who sees me. Not just the God who sees everything, but the God who sees me. That name says so much. It reminds us that we are not lost in the crowd. We are not just one of many. God's attention is personal. His gaze is intentional. He doesn't just notice you, he cherishes you. When life feels uncertain, when your prayers feel unanswered, and when hope seems distant, that's when this truth becomes your anchor. God knows your name. He knows your story. He knows exactly where you are, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. You're not wandering blindly. He's guiding even when you can't feel it. He's working even when you can't see it. And sometimes the silence of God isn't absence, it's intimacy. He's closer than you think, walking with you in every step, listening even to the prayers you don't have words for. We often look for grand signs to know God is near, a miracle, a breakthrough, a loud voice from heaven. But more often than not, he shows up in the quiet moments. The stillness of the morning, the gentle reminder of a verse, the unexpected peace in the middle of chaos. That's where you find him watching, waiting, leading. Not because he's distant and waiting for you to earn his attention, but because he's already there patiently inviting you to notice him. When you feel forgotten, remember, God's memory is perfect. You are engraved on the palms of his hand. You are not just seen, you are known in a way no one else can know you. And in that knowing, you are loved without condition, without performance, without the need to prove anything. You don't have to compete for his affection or shout over the noise of the world to be heard. He hears your sighs. He catches your tears. He understands your silence. This truth becomes especially powerful in moments of transition or struggle, when you're waiting for answers, when you're stepping into the unknown, or when you feel like you're walking alone. You are not unseen. God's eyes are on you. His heart is for you. His hands are holding you steady, even when you don't feel it, even when everything around you seems unstable. His presence is constant. You don't need full strength, just full surrender. That might sound backwards in a world that constantly tells you to be strong, to push through, to hold it all together. But God's way is different. He's not asking you to carry the weight of your life on your own shoulders. He's not impressed by how much you can handle. No. What moves his heart is when you come to him open-handed, admitting, I can't do this on my own. That's where real strength begins. We tend to think surrender means weakness. But in God's kingdom, surrender is the pathway to power. It's in our letting go that he steps in. It's in our humility that his strength is made perfect. You don't have to be the hero of your own story. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't need all the answers before you take the next step. You only need to trust the one who does. So many of us are exhausted, not just physically, but deep in our souls, because we're trying to control what was never ours to carry. We carry the pressure of outcomes, of people's expectations, of our past mistakes and future fears. And all the while, God is whispering, let me carry this. Let me lead. Let me be enough for you. Surrender is not giving up. It's handing over. It's choosing to believe that God can do more with your surrender than you could ever do with your striving. When we cling tightly to control, we limit what God could do in our lives. We build walls around our hearts, thinking we're protecting ourselves, but really we're keeping ourselves from the peace and freedom that only come through surrender. God can't fill hands that are already full, and he can't lead a heart that's already set on its own way. But the moment we let go, the moment we say, God, I trust you more than I trust myself, that's when something shifts. Not always around us, but definitely within us. And here's the beautiful part. God isn't waiting for you to be strong enough to surrender. He's not holding back his love until you're ready to perform. He meets you in the weakness. He comes close in the breaking. He holds you in the moment when all you have left is a whisper of faith. He doesn't despise your weakness. He inhabits it. He moves through it. He works wonders in it. This kind of surrender is not a one-time act. It's a daily posture. Every morning you have the choice to start with surrender, to lay your plans, your fears, your heart before God and say, lead me today. I can't do it without you. I can't do it without you. And the miracle is that simple prayer is powerful enough to change everything. Because God doesn't need your perfection. He's not looking for polished. He's looking for open. He wants your yes, even if it's shaky. Your trust, even if it comes with tears. In your surrender, you'll find rest. Not the kind that comes from everything being easy, but the kind that comes from knowing you're not alone. The kind that whispers, even this will be okay, because God is with me. That's what happens when you stop holding it all together and start handing it all over. Peace comes when you let God lead, not when you're in control. That's a truth many of us learn the hard way. We try to manage everything, our schedules, our relationships, our futures, and still feel anxious, restless, and worn thin. Because control doesn't bring peace, it brings pressure. It brings fear. It brings the constant, exhausting need to make sure everything goes just right. But God never designed us to carry that kind of weight. He designed us to follow, to trust, to rest in his leadership. There's something powerful about recognizing that we don't have to know every step ahead. We don't have to predict every outcome or solve every problem. When we try to control it all, we live in constant tension, afraid of what might go wrong, overwhelmed by what we can't fix, and burdened by what we don't understand. But when we let God lead, we begin to experience a peace that doesn't make sense in human terms. A peace that holds steady even when life is uncertain. Letting God lead doesn't mean life becomes easy. It means we stop fighting battles that were never ours to fight alone. It means we stop striving to earn love or prove our worth. It means we begin to walk with a quiet confidence, not in ourselves, but in the one who goes before us, behind us, and with us. That's where real peace lives, in the presence of a shepherd who knows the way. When you're in control, you carry the burden of every outcome. When God is in control, you carry his promises. That doesn't mean we sit back passively. It means we move forward faithfully, trusting that he's guiding each step. It means that when things don't go the way we planned, we don't panic, we pray. We don't grasp tighter, we release more. We don't give up. We give it to God. Peace is not found in the absence of problems. It's found in the presence of God. And his presence shows up most clearly when we're willing to surrender control. That's not always easy, especially if you've been hurt or disappointed before. It's hard to trust when you've learned to rely on yourself, but God is not like people. He won't abandon you. He won't fail you. And when he leads, he always leads with love. Sometimes God leads us through still waters, and sometimes he leads us through storms. But in both places, his peace remains. Because peace isn't found in your surroundings, it's found in your surrender. When you stop trying to force your way and start following his, your heart finds a rhythm of grace. You breathe a little deeper. You stop bracing for disaster. You start believing that maybe, just maybe, you're not alone. And that makes all the difference. Letting God lead is an act of faith. It means you don't have to understand everything to trust that God is doing something. It means you can take your hands off the wheel and believe that his hands are better, more capable, more gentle, more wise. It means you don't have to rush. You can walk in step with the one who sees the beginning from the end and calls you his own. Every morning is a divine invitation, not just a routine. It's easy to wake up and jump right into the motions. Check your phone, scroll through notifications, make coffee, rush into the day like it's just another one on the calendar. But what if it's more than that? What if every sunrise is heaven's way of saying, I'm not finished with you yet? What if opening your eyes is the first miracle of the day and the next breath you take is a gift meant to remind you you're still part of God's story? We often overlook the sacred and the ordinary. We treat mornings like they're just the starting line for our to-do lists. But every morning is actually a gentle whisper from God. Come close. I have something for you. Not pressure, not performance, but presence, He's inviting you into relationship before responsibility, into stillness before busyness, into communion before chaos. You don't have to earn the invitation. It's already there waiting with the dawn. No matter how messy yesterday was, no matter how tired you feel, no matter how far you think you've drifted, the invitation doesn't expire. It doesn't come with condition. It comes with mercy, fresh mercy, every single morning. God doesn't just give you another day. He gives you another chance, a chance to believe again, to begin again. To walk with him in a deeper way than you did yesterday. This invitation isn't about religion. It's not about rules or rituals. It's about relationship, a loving father wanting time with his child, a shepherd wanting to lead his sheep, a creator offering peace to the one he formed. It's personal, it's intentional, and it's powerful. When we stop seeing mornings as mundane, our entire perspective shifts. We don't dread the day, we dedicate it. We don't run on empty, we refuel in his presence. And even if the day ahead is difficult, even if there are challenges waiting, we face it differently when we've been with God first. Because that time with him becomes the anchor, the filter, the strength we draw from. It reminds us who we are, and more importantly, whose we are. Well, so many of us are searching for purpose, for peace, for clarity. And we think it'll come through some big breakthrough or loud voice from heaven. But more often, it comes in the quiet, in the early morning stillness where God speaks in a whisper and reminds you, you are loved, you are chosen, you are never alone. That kind of reminder can't be found in the rush of the world. It's found in the pause, in the surrender, in the quiet response to his invitation. Yes, Lord, lead me today. If you've ever felt like you were going through the motions, like life has lost its meaning, or mornings are just something to get through, maybe it's time to reframe them, to see each morning not as a restart of your busy life, but as a restart of your connection with the one who gives it meaning. God isn't just waiting for you to come to him when you're in crisis. He's waiting every morning, ready to walk with you through whatever the day brings. Your valley today can become a victory with him. It might not feel like it right now. You might be walking through pain that words can't reach, facing obstacles that seem immovable, or carrying burdens that no one else even knows you're holding. Valleys can feel lonely, dark, and endless, but they are not the end of your story. In God's hands, even the lowest places become the starting point of something beautiful, something powerful, something redemptive. Valleys are not signs of God's absence. They're often the places where he's doing his deepest work. You may not see it yet. You may not understand it right now. But God is moving in the silence. He's shaping your heart. He's building your strength. He's preparing you for what's ahead. Because what the enemy meant for harm, God is already planning to use for good. He never wastes a valley. He transforms them. Victory doesn't always look like the absence of struggle. Sometimes it looks like peace in the struggle, joy that makes no sense, hope that refuses to die. Victory is trusting God in the middle of what you can't see the end of. It's praising Him while you wait. It's continuing to walk when you feel like giving up. That's the kind of victory that heaven celebrates, the kind born in faith, not in comfort. Maybe you're thinking, I don't feel strong enough for this. That's okay. You don't have to be. Your victory doesn't come from your strength. It comes from His. The same God who led David through the valley of the shadow of death, who walked with Daniel into the lion's den, who stood with the three in the fire, He is standing with you right now. And He hasn't changed. He's still the same God, still faithful, still powerful, still able to turn every trial into a testimony. Sometimes we look at our valley and think it disqualifies us from being used by God. But the opposite is true. It's often the very thing that qualifies you. Because once you've walked through something real with God, once you've wrestled, cried, surrendered, and still seen His faithfulness, you carry a depth that can't be taught, only lived. And that depth becomes a gift, a light for someone else's darkness, a reminder to others that victory is possible, even here, even now. It's easy to praise God on the mountaintop, but the most powerful praise comes from the valley, when the answers haven't come yet, when the healing hasn't happened yet, when the breakthrough hasn't arrived yet. That kind of praise shakes heaven. That kind of faith moves mountains, because it's not based on what God has done. It's rooted in who He is. There is purpose in the place you're in, even if it doesn't make sense yet, even if it hurts. God is not done writing your story. The valley may be part of the chapter, but it's not the conclusion. And if God led you to it, He's more than able to lead you through it. With Him, no pain is permanent, no loss is final, no darkness can outlast His light. The valley is real, but so is the victory. Start with faith, not fear. God is already in your day. The moment your eyes open before the rush begins and the world pulls at your attention, there's a quiet decision to make. Will you let fear lead, or will you choose faith? Fear will tell you you're not enough, that today will be too much, that what's ahead is uncertain and unsafe. But faith whispers a different story. Faith reminds you that God is already here, already working, already surrounding every moment you're about to face. Fear thrives in the unknown, in the what-ifs, in the places where control slips through our fingers. But faith thrives in truth. And the truth is, no matter what this day holds, you are not facing it alone. The same God who brought you through yesterday, who held you in your weakest moments, who showed up in ways you didn't even see, He's already gone ahead of you into today. He's paved the way, and He's walking with you step by step. Starting with faith doesn't mean you deny the hard things. It doesn't mean pretending everything's perfect or easy. It means looking at your challenges and choosing to believe that God is bigger. It means acknowledging your fears, but refusing to let them have the final word. It means stepping into your day, not with anxiety as your compass, but with trust as your guide. Faith starts small. It begins in a whisper, God, I trust you today. It begins in the moment you hand over the unknowns, the pressures, the things you wish you could control. And in that moment of release, something shifts. The weight begins to lift. The chaos quiets just enough for peace to slip in, not because everything is fixed, but because your focus has changed. You're no longer looking at your problems through the lens of fear. You're looking at them through the eyes of faith. Fear says, what if I can't handle this? Faith says that God will strengthen me. Fear says, what if things fall apart? Faith says, even then, God is holding me together. Fear says, I'm not ready. Faith says, God's already gone before me. Every morning is a fresh opportunity to realign your heart. You don't have to carry yesterday's failures or tomorrow's worries. You only need to walk with faith today. And you don't need a perfect track record. You just need a willing heart. God isn't asking for flawless confidence. He's asking for a mustard seed of belief. That's all it takes to move mountains. Faith isn't loud. It doesn't always come with certainty. Sometimes it shows up quietly, right alongside fear, but chooses to speak anyway. It's in the way you keep going, keep believing, keep praying. It's in the way you choose to start your day on your knees, trusting that even if the world feels unstable, your foundation is unshakable. You get to choose your focus each morning. And when you choose faith, you're not just surviving, you're inviting God's presence into every detail of your day. That choice changes how you respond to stress, how you speak to others, how you walk through hard moments, because when faith leads, peace follows. When faith leads, courage rises. When faith leads, fear loses its grip.